The stream is live. I see it.
All right. What's up? How you doing, Russ?
I'm good.
What we got on the topic for tonight?
Uh, okay. So I was all right. So I'm gonna you post a description in there or not yet?
Yeah,
Or
it's got a description in there.
okay, because I was gonna start out like all right. So
And we can edit all this part
okay,
out.
yeah. Now, all right. So the problem is the first thing you got to understand is this: everybody
Well,
was
just tell the people what you're here for and who you are and, and what we're going to talk about tonight.
okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. So my my whole goal is to, man, ever since you remember 20 years ago, I used to say, Barry, we need to start a website. We need to start a website. Do you remember that?
I
And
do.
uh, we gotta get people together on, you know, how to fix this mess we're in, how to, get our money right because we're getting taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? And you used to tell me, quit trying to save the world. You remember that?
That's right.
You say, quit trying to save the world because I knew, man, we'd be working so hard and then don't have nothing at the end of the week. You know what I mean? And like just struggling just to get by, just to pay bills. And it sucked. You know what I mean? Me and you both came from the same basically background, man. We had nothing. We lived in the ghetto, didn't we?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Part that I mean, it wasn't the ghetto then, straight up ghetto, but it was close.
Believe me, you go by there now.
Yeah,
I can't believe I lived there.
that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I mean? So,
But and man, so I know because all my life, man, even since I was a little kid, I was always poor. You know what I mean? I just came from a poor family. We had nothing. So I used to try to, I always wanted to solve these problems. And I knew there was a problem, but I didn't really know what it was, but I knew that we had to get together. The people had to get together if we were going to fix it. You know what I mean? And this was like literally 20 plus years ago when we used to talk about this. We were first talking about making a website. You remember we used to talk about all our ideas to make a website, right?
okay.
So now, 2016 came, Trump hit the street and everything started getting exposed, and that's when I really started digging, is really about 2020. I started devoting all my time, man. Even at work, I work with my headphones in all day long and listen to videos, watch videos while I'm working, and just try to learn everything I could because I wanted to, do what I could to fix it, but at least understand what the problem was and stuff like that. So, over the next, I don't know, 3-4 years, keep studying, keep learning, keep watching videos, putting the puzzle pieces together. And then probably, I don't know, about a year ago, maybe not even that long ago, it hit me. It just came to me one day that I could see how we got in this mess, and how really we can get out of it. And it's already done. Like we don't need to do nothing at this point. It's already being taken care of. You can see that every day with Doge, Elon Musk, taking out the crooks in the government, whatever, and finding the money and this and that, where it's all going and stuff. So it's already being done, but I still think it's important that people know how it happened, because Once you understand how it happened and you can see clearly, it makes it a lot easier to have some confidence that we're moving in the right direction, because you understand what needs to be done. Once you understand what needs to be done, you can see the full picture. Then it's easier to go along with it, because you agree, because people can tell you anything, right? But nothing is as strong as when you're convinced of something yourself. A person come along and tell you, hey, so and so Ford is the best truck. But until you own a Ford, which, I'm not saying Ford's the best truck, but just an example, until you own a Ford and then a Chevy and then a Dodge, and you can say, yes, I know Ford is the best, right? It's kind of like that. So when you're convinced through your own experience, then, that's the most powerful, evidence you can have to convince you of something. So the way this breaks down is like this. When you were born, when you came into this world, you only had two things. That's time and ability. So you were given a finite amount of time on this earth, and you were given the ability to do things with your hands, your feet, your brain, your mouth, whatever your job is, whatever you do, whatever you contribute when you get up and go to work every day. That's your ability, and you're spending your time. And those are your only two assets. That's the only two things you really have. I mean, you have a house, you have a car, you have a shirt, but all that can go away. That can be
fast
in a minute. The government can walk up right now, knock on your door, and everything you ever worked for can be gone.
They can put you away.
They put you away for life, and it don't matter.
Nobody can help you.
That's right. That's exactly right. But your time and your ability are your only two real assets. That's all you really have. And when you get up every day and you go to work, what are you giving? You're giving your time and your ability. Your only two most precious assets is what you're giving away every day. And you can't get it back. That time, those 8 hours you spend at work, they're gone. That part of your life is gone. You can never get it back. And you're slowly ticking towards the last minute every day. Your clock never stops running. So that's why I say that's your most precious asset, Now, when you give your time and ability, what are you trading it for? Money, right? That's what you go to work for, is so that to earn money. And the money is the most important thing basically in life. Now, a lot of people will argue with that and say, no, God is the most important thing in life. And I agree with that. But I think a lot of people, and that's something else we'll talk about a different show, but a lot of people have a big misconception about God, religion. There's a lot of things floating around, but just for I guess you could say tangible purposes here on earth, the most important thing is money, because you have to have money to survive, and money brings you peace, because it relieves you from stress and worry about how you're going to pay your bills. If you're worried about how you're going to make your next month bills, how you're going to feed your kids, you're going to be stressed out, and you're not going to have a good quality of life. Your life is going to suck if you constantly worry about money. You know what I mean? So, and that connects to everything else in life. Your health is connected to your level of stress, your heart, all that stuff, your brain, your relationship with your wife and your family and your friends. It's all connected. And if you're stressed out about money, your quality of life is going to be poor. You know what I mean? Your health is probably going to be poor. So here on earth, the most important thing is going to be your money. There's no happiness in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you get up every day and you go to work and you trade your time and ability, shouldn't the object that you trade your two most precious assets for, shouldn't they be an object that represents time and ability, an equal amount of time and ability to create? Because if I make something stupid like toothpicks out of nothing, toothpick, a little piece of wood, it's, but I'm the only one that can make them. And you work every day, you give your 8 hours of your precious time and your ability for a stupid little toothpick. You think that's a good trade? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I'm the only one that can make it, and I can make a toothpick in, a whole box or 1,000 in 10 minutes, but it takes you 8 hours just to earn one. You see the advantage I got? Man, I'm kicked back. I'm doing basically I own your time and your ability, because I make a box of toothpicks in 10 minutes and I give you one a day. So, you can see there, that's not a good trade. And that's basically what paper money does. Paper money is nothing but a piece of paper. Yeah, it's got certain print on it. It's got green color, it's got the president, it's got digits on the corners to tell you what it's worth. But all in all, it's just a piece of paper. There's no real time and real energy involved in creating it. And the way you know that is, if you go to the convenience store and you buy, say, a Sunday newspaper, a big thick, Sunday's big thick paper, right? You lay that paper out on a table and you cut out as many $100 bill sized pieces of paper out of that newspaper as you can. Cut them out, start cutting them out. You'll get about 875. That's what I calculate, basically, kind of rough estimate. So for $5 worth of newspaper, you can create 875 pieces of paper the size of a $100 bill. And basically, that's about what it's worth. You know what I mean? And if you look up right now on Google, I don't know if I can share my screen, but should I try it?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, let me try to share my screen. Let me go back here. Okay. Go right here. I'm going to say, how much does it cost to create a $100 bill? Can you see that?
I can. Let me see. Yeah.
Right here. The new bill costs about 12.6 cents to produce. Has a blue ribbon woven in the center with the currency with 100 and Liberty Bells. Okay, so 12.6 cents to produce a $100 bill. Now, only one entity can create a $100 bill. I can't create one. You can't create one. If you do, you'll go to jail. That's counterfeiting, right? So it's the same thing as if I made toothpicks and you worked for me and I paid you in toothpicks. I'm the only one that can make it. Nobody else can make it. Just me. So if I have you over my house, wash my car, cut my grass, you know, and I pay you with a worthless toothpick, you see the advantage I got, right? And that's the same thing with paper money. Is it's just a worthless piece of paper. It didn't cost any time or any effort to create it. It only cost 12.6 cents. So you see the kickback, the payback, the return on that.
Yeah.
You work for me all day long. You give 8 hours of your precious time and the sweat of your brow working hard, cutting grass in the heat, wash my car, up, down, you know, physically tiring labor for 8 hours. And all I give you is a 12.6 cent piece of paper. It didn't cost me nothing to make it, but 12.6 cent. So I just got all your day's labor and your 8 hours of precious time for 12.6 cent. Right?
That's right.
Now, compare that to gold and silver. If we were using gold and silver in trade for labor, I can't just go out and get gold and silver that easy like I can paper, right? If I want gold and silver, I got to dig it out of the ground. It can't be created in a lab. You can't print gold and silver with a machine. Only way to get gold and silver is to mine it out of the ground.
Hard work.
That's hard work.
Yeah.
That's hard work. So when you come to my house and you wash my car and you cut my grass and you work for 8 hours sweating in the sun, okay, if I pay you in gold and silver, that gold and silver represents real time and labor. There is real time and real energy in that coin because it took real time and real energy to manifest that out of the ground. See? And that is the key to the mess that we're in. That's how we got in this mess. Right? So
how do we get out of that mess?
Well, that's like I said, we don't need to do nothing. It's already being done. It's already being done, and we're almost there. We're this close. Now, I wrote down some other notes and stuff that I wanted to talk about. But that's basically the main thing that I want people to understand. Because once you understand that concept, and I've tried to tell this to people, man, and some people, it either goes right over their head or they're stuck to something else they believe or they heard about, oh, well, that would cause massive inflation and, you know, all this other stuff. And, you know, I've heard all kinds of different, and I've also heard one thing I've heard people tell me is, yeah, but there's not enough gold in existence. And we've only, according to what I've researched, we've only extracted 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of gold out of the ground since we've been extracting gold, mining gold. That's all that is in existence. But every bit of gold that is in existence is still in existence. It can't be destroyed. It can be vaporized at 5,000 degrees Celsius, I think Celsius, or maybe that's Fahrenheit. I think it's 5,000 something degrees Fahrenheit, which you would have to work really hard with some really serious fuel and to produce a 5,000 degree environment. So basically gold can't be destroyed. It's inert to chemicals. It's resistant to corrosion, which means you can bury it in the ground, and no other metal is like that. You can bury it in the ground, leave it there for 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. Matter of fact, it's formed in the ground. So not only can it not be destroyed by corrosion like any other metal, wood, plastic, paper, it can be destroyed by the dirt. Just the dirt and the sun and rain alone will corrode it, not gold, right? So anyway, but the argument I've heard some people say is there's not enough gold in existence. We don't have enough gold. But that's not true, because you don't need more gold to match the economy, the amount of money that, that circulates in the economy. All you have to do is revalue the gold you have. So right now, gold is $2,900 an ounce. I checked a few minutes ago. It was am I still sharing my screen, or am I sharing me?
No,
or you?
Yeah, you got it.
I can, okay, because I can. How do I change that? I just looked up the price of gold. I was going to show.
Yeah, you go ahead and pull it. I'll pull it back up.
Okay.
Find exactly the right one.
I don't know if I know how to. Oh, let's see. Stop screen, present, share screen. Okay. So this one right here. So you see right here where my mouse is. This is right now live on February 15th, 9:44 p.m. at night. Gold is $2,894 an ounce. Now, supposedly, and this is from yesterday, this just came out yesterday. Can you see that, Kit Code?
Yeah.
There is a plan right now to revalue the gold that America has. America has a certain amount of gold. It changed hands for a while, but we got it back. It was basically not stolen, but it was transferred. Let's just say it was taken away. But now we've got it back. And so it's going to be revalued. And what's going to happen is the amount of gold we have is going to be, the value of it's going to be increased to match the current economy, how much money we have in our system. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yep. So I didn't watch this video. I watched like the first 10 seconds and then I stopped it. But if anybody wants to watch it, it's at Kitco News. Right here, you can see. Maybe you can put a link in the description, Barry.
Yeah, copy the link and put it in the back chat.
Yeah, and what's going to happen is I'll show you this other video. This guy here, this is Soar Financially. I didn't watch this video either, but I know where this is going, because, like I said, I've been studying this for years, and I can see where it's going and what's coming and how it's going to happen. And, I kind of just, once I was satisfied that I'm confident that this is going to happen, I was satisfied, and I kind of just quit digging. You know what I mean? I quit studying it every day, because there was, for about probably 3 years, man, I was consumed by this whole mess that we're in, between 2021 and like 2024. That's all I did. I eat, sleep, and breathe this topic, studying this, doing research, digging, trying to learn as much as I could day and night. So anyway, but this here, the point of this one is, this guy's saying gold revaluation to $142,000 an ounce. You see that? So that tells you right there, if we only have, I don't know how much we have, 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. That's about the amount of gold that we have, or that's been extracted. I don't know if that's what's in America's possession, but if you take an ounce of gold that right now is worth $28.94 and you revalue it to $142,000 an ounce, you see how that'll match the economy. So it doesn't matter how much gold you got. You just take the gold you got and you make it worth more. And now you got enough gold. So, if some people out there might not understand it, they might not agree with it, but it doesn't really matter, because it's true. And the reason I know that is because I've done enough research to understand, and I can see that, you know, it's realistic, it's logical, it works. You know what I mean? So it's too late. I mean, we're going there. So whoever don't believe it or whoever don't agree with it, they'll see eventually, because it's about to happen. And you know, I buy gold. I've been buying gold for probably about a year, and I would advise people to buy gold. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I buy gold. I can tell you that. I think it's a great idea. And I've made money, not a lot, but I've made money off of gold that
Just
I
by holding the gold.
yeah, yeah, it's increased in value since I first started buying it. And that's, you know, you can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? I can see the price. I know the price I paid when I bought it, and I know the price today. And I buy physical gold. I don't buy gold certificates or gold stock or a piece of paper that says I have gold in someone else's vault. I don't buy that. I buy real physical gold from a couple different places. That Money Metals is one. Kitco, I buy gold from Kitco before. And APMEX, America Precious Metals Exchange, I bought gold from them. And silver, a little bit of silver, you know, but I buy physical gold, and I keep it at my house because, you know, that's the safest way to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that's the main thing I think people should understand, man. And then, you know, as we go, I feel like we can expand into different topics, different subcategories, but it all links back to that. And let me tell you something, you know, I coined this phrase myself. I came up with this myself, and I think this is brilliant. And I want people to hear this and think about this and remember this, because this is huge. All right, you ready? He who creates the object that you work for owns your time and labor.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? If I create toothpicks and you work for toothpicks, I own your time and labor. If you need toothpicks to survive, you have to have them. You have to have them to keep your kids alive. You have to have them to keep clothes on your back. You have to have them to live, to pay your house payment. I own your time and your labor. You're going to come to me every day. Hey, Russ, can I get some more toothpicks?
Can I get some more toothpicks?
What do you do? What can I do for you for a toothpick? And if I want to, I can say, Barry, you know what? Today, it's been, things ain't really that good, man. I can give you half a toothpick today. I'm sorry, man. But hey, if you don't want it, this guy over here, Bob, he'll do it. He'll wash my car for half a toothpick.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to,
quarter of a toothpick.
if I want to, I can break it down to, here you go, a little piece, you know, and I got you because you need it, and I know you need it.
And that's just like work, just like the job we have now.
That's exactly right, and that's how the creators of paper money have you and me and the whole, basically the world, whoever does business in toothpicks or paper money, they got them because they are the single source of creation of wealth. No one else can create that wealth except for them. But gold, on the other hand, and silver, it's everywhere. It's in the earth. It's under your feet right now. There is gold under your feet, under your house, in your front yard, your backyard. It's everywhere. And I can prove,
dig for it.
Absolutely. I can prove that. And let me tell you something else. You don't have to dig for it. You can. You can absolutely go out in your yard and dig for gold. Now, you ain't going to find a nugget. That's not what, it's not like that. But if you dig up 2 tons of dirt, which you could take you a few days, but if you were to dig up, say, 2 tons, 4,000 pounds of dirt, you would probably get anywhere from maybe, I don't know, probably say $1,000 to possibly even $3,000 worth of gold at today's prices. And but a lot of people find that hard to believe. Oh, I don't know. I can show you. And there's a guy on YouTube, this guy here. Can I share my screen? Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. You see this MBM LLC? This is Mount Baker Mining and Metals LLC. This guy.
Well, you don't have it up.
Oh, I don't have it up?
No. It's still on the other one.
Oh, hold on. Okay, let me show you. Let me see here. This guy here, his name's Jason with Mount Baker Mining and Metals Company. He will come to your house. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. I watch a lot of his stuff. Oh, I got to add. And it's good. He's good. Now, he has a 1 ton per hour turnkey system, and he will come to your house and assay your land. And what that means is he'll dig up 2 tons of dirt, rocks, whatever comes out of your ground. He'll set up a backhoe, dig up 2 tons of ore, take it back to his 1 ton per hour turnkey system, and he'll run it through there, and he'll tell you how much gold content is in your land. It's an estimate. You mean it's not going to be consistent, but it'll be really close. And so you don't have to dig up your own gold. He'll come dig it up for you and run it through. Now, he'll charge you.
I'm going to start coming to your house and digging up shit in your backyard.
I already have been doing it, Barry, because let me tell you something else. Now, this wasn't initially part of, but I'm going to show. Oh, when I switch screens, does it switch screens?
Yeah, I believe so. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, there is gold in quartz.
It didn't switch. Did you see it switching?
Yeah, no, I see now what's going on. I see. Watch this. I can do it like this. Share this tab instead. Boom. You see that?
There you go.
Now, you see this rock right here? You see that rock in his hand?
I do.
Oh, shit. I messed up.
I love
it. I'm still pretty new at this. So.
You're good.
All right. Here, I got it back. Boom. All right. That's quartz. You've seen quartz before. It's I have this all over my yard, man. I find this all the time. I have a tote, probably a big tote, not a little tote. You know, like huh?
Yeah, that's your collector?
Yeah. Ever since I discovered this, I've been collecting every single piece of quartz I find in my yard. Now, this one's really yellow and red. You see a lot of colors in this. This is probably a high value piece of rock, but it's nothing more than rock. That's all it is. And in this holds gold in it. There's going to be gold in that, but you have to process it out. You don't just find it like a nugget. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you might find a little speck barely visible to the human eye, but you have to crush it down, mix it with a recipe called flux, and put it in a furnace and smelt it. It's called smelting gold, right?
Okay.
And what you do is you heat it up to about 2,000 degrees. You pour it in a mold, and then you do one more step to actually get the gold out. But he does this. This guy, MMB LLC, Mount Baker Mining Metals LLC, he does this. And there's a lot of videos you can watch. Matter of fact, I'll show you this one. This is the one I was at earlier. Here's the process. He's actually got, so he starts out with well, this is already after he's run it through the hammer mill, through the jaw crusher, and and then he gets what right here, what you see that right there, what he's dumping out of that bucket.
What is that?
That top bucket right there, it looks like dirt, don't it? It basically is dirt. I mean, it's not just a cup of dirt out of the yard, but it's called concentrates. So gold is heavier than pretty much most other minerals. All right. So when you run it through the system, at the end of, after it's been crushed down to a real fine, all your dirt and all your ore and all your rocks and everything you dug up has been crushed down to a very fine material. It goes across what they call a shaker table. He runs it across shaker table, and a shaker table is just a big table, and it has water dripping down on it at one end, and it's leaning, it's barely tilted down a little bit towards the side, it's tilted, and that water is constantly dripping along the edge, just a little bit of water, and the table shakes back and forth, and the heavier material goes down the hill. Exactly. Now that is what you see there in that bucket. That's called concentrates. So that heavier matter, you collect that in a pail like he did. You pour it in that burn up looking cup he's got. That's called a crucible, and you mix it with the flux recipe, which he showed you right here. If you want to go back and watch it, he shows you exactly what to mix. It tells you the amounts, how many grams per whatever, and anyway, so the point is, once you pour it in that crucible, you put it in the furnace and you heat it to 2000 degrees. Then once you heat it to 2000 degrees, you pour it in a cone mold. You see that cone? It's shaped like a pyramid, upside down pyramid. See that?
I do.
Okay, so the heavier matter is going to sink to the bottom of the pyramid because it's heaviest.
Okay.
And so all your precious metals go to the tip of that pyramid, right? So you let it cool. Once it cools, you take it out, dump it upside down like that, and that's what you got. You take a hammer, you break that little tip off, the tip of the pyramid off, and that is where your precious metals end up. All your gold and silver is in that little prill. They call that a prill. Now, let me show you something. This is something huge I want people to see. We go back just a minute here to where he dumps out the cone mold. Now, what do you see there? A pyramid, right?
Right.
Now, move up a little bit to where he breaks the tip off. What do you see there? A little tip of a pyramid separated from the other pyramid. Right? All right. So, do you know where I'm going with this?
Pull out your pyramid.
I'm about to show you something. Watch this. All right. Can you see me?
Yeah, I see.
All right. What do you see right there?
Tip of a pyramid. On a pyramid.
On the back of the dollar bill. See, they know this. They know that. And this is only on the one. You don't find that on no other bill. And you see how it's shiny?
I do.
That's where true wealth is. It's in the tip of that little pyramid right there. What he just broke off of that cone mold. And if you ever heard of the Rothschilds, you heard of the Rothschilds?
Yeah.
Meyer Amschel Rothschild was the father of the Rothschilds. That's where the name became famous. This was back in the 1600s. He was drafted, or whatever you want to call it, appointed to be the King of England's preferred gold smelter, because he made the most impressive coins. His coins were very eloquent, very nice looking, professional. So the King of England appointed him to be his official. I could probably find it here. You see this Wikipedia page. But anyway, this is where it all started. This guy, Meyer Amschel Rothschild, was a gold smelter. What you just saw that guy doing in Mount Baker Mining and Metals, this guy smelting gold, what he's doing right here, that's what Meyer Amschel Rothschild did. That's how he got to be known, and he got to be known as the father of finance. And that is where true wealth exists, is in gold. That's how it all got started. And as time went on, they realized, hey, we can give people paper that says they have gold, and we really got their gold, and they're running around with worthless paper, and they think they got gold because they got a piece of paper that says they got gold, and they're using that piece of paper to trade with each other, and they think they're using gold. They think they still have their gold, but we have their gold. They don't have their gold. We have their gold. They have paper. And then eventually they just said, hey, guys don't need gold. You don't need gold. All you need is paper. Here, use this. This is wealth. These toothpicks are all you need. Just pay your house payment with toothpicks. That's all you need. And there is the birth of the mess that we got in and we're in right now. What do you think? What do you think?
You broke it down.
I'm telling you. That's how we got in this BS.
Oh, man.
And the good news is, Barry, you ain't got to do nothing. You don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is sit back and watch, because it's all breaking down. The whole thing has already been destroyed. We're just waiting on the credits to roll. We're at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? That's all that we got to do is sit back and watch. And it's already done for us. So
wow, man.
Yep.
That was a good history lesson on gold and money.
Good.
Now I need to make some.
You remember all them years we ran the roads all over the country, working, 12 hours a day. Remember that?
I do.
And then we barely be able to pay our bills. And then what? It'd be 6 months, a year later, the job would end. We'd be out of work for a couple months looking for another job
Looking for another job to do
and
the
then
same shit.
start it all over again. You know what I'm saying? And here we are now. I ain't got much more money than I had back when. I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I got a little bit, but I give it to my kids. You know what I'm saying? I buy gold. Every dollar I can scrounge up that I don't have to pay for bills, I buy gold because it's really to me the only safe way that I feel like I can store money. Because if I store paper money, if me and you put together $25,000 back in the day when we were working and we saved it until now, what could we buy with 25,000 20 years ago? You could buy a nice freaking car. You can't buy a nice car for that now.
I can't buy wheels $25,000.
That's what I'm saying. So if we would have saved paper money for 20 years, look what we'd have. Basically nothing. It deteriorates. The value of it is gone down. But 20 years ago, the price of gold
wasn't not $500 an ounce.
Exactly. So if we would have bought gold back then, we'd be freaking rich right now. You know what I mean? So every little dollar I can, man, I buy gold with it. And so, you know, I got nothing in my bank account. I might have $500 in my account, and you know, I might be able to buy gold twice a year. You know, an ounce or 2 ounces, maybe twice a year. So
that's crazy though that you work every day and all you can do is spend like say a couple ounces of gold a year. That's all
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yep,
And you make great money
yeah. I mean, I think
compared to just average. We just average.
yeah. I do, and I feel like because you compare it to everything else, like
And
what
you
everyone
can't do
else
that.
is.
You can't
I'm not at the bottom of the pay scale, but I ain't nowhere near the top. You know what I'm saying?
nowhere near the top.
Oh fuck no, nowhere near the top. You know what I
But
mean?
but if you told another man what you make, they would think you oh my God, I would buy I'd have a Corvette, I'd have
Yeah.
3 story house. And that's not the truth.
No.
The more money I've made over the years, I mean, I started out with you. Man, what we was making $14. I was making $14 an hour, $100 a day per diem.
Yeah.
But that was my first job ever.
Yeah.
So, that's why and that was probably $1,000 a week back then, $1,200 a week for what we was doing. So that's why I could not when I come back to the city, everybody else was making what at that time, $10 an hour.
Right.
I've never worked for $10 an hour. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't work for $10 an hour.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. You know what I mean? I work if I needed to for
Yeah.
whatever.
For sure. Me too. If there was nothing else, hell
But I knew better. I knew there was more out there also. That's why I got in the truck with you.
right.
No license.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drive from Georgia, Indiana with no license.
I didn't have no license.
No, hell no, you had no. They probably had no insurance.
Probably didn't. All I need, hey, all I needed was some keys.
That was it. And we was going. So hey man, I got a job at and I was right there with you, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. And the whole time,
And
they living like kings, the guys who are stealing from us. You know what I'm saying? And they know it, man. That's the worst part. They know it.
I know it.
Yeah, they know it.
It's the same way it is now. 20 years later.
Yep.
Still chasing that dollar.
Yep. But the good news is, man, our kids will never have to worry the way we did. And don't that feel good?
Well, you don't know because like I say, eggs are what $9. How much the eggs up there?
Yeah, they're basically limiting eggs right now. Like a couple of the stores around here,
I heard that on the news today that they were living. They're not doing that here, but
yeah,
I did hear that they said 3 cartons per person or 1 carton per day
Yeah.
You
That's
know, I heard that today on the news.
yeah. For us, you can buy one carton at the Costco. At the store we shop at right up the street, I don't think they have no thing like that, but it's probably just a matter of time. But you know, it ain't gonna last, man. We're gonna
No,
get out of it. It's gonna break. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know really how that came about. I mean, I know the bird flu theory, but I ain't seen no dead birds. Have you?
I ain't seen no dead birds.
That's what I'm wondering. Where's all the dead birds? Shouldn't I be seeing dead birds?
Is it
Or
birds? I mean, is that birds or is it chickens or
well,
what?
I don't know. I mean, they call it the bird flu, but if it's just chickens, why don't they call it the chicken flu?
Chicken flu, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's so complicated. You could try to read into it, and you're just going to get lost in the
In the sauce.
explanation. Yeah, and you just close the tab and go to bed. You know what I mean? I don't know. I still don't know. I spent an hour reading into the bird flu. I still don't know. You know, all I know is eggs as high as a motherfucker. You know?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but and you know, man, it makes me wonder because I tell you what, my next door neighbor has chickens. Right, I can walk out my side door and walk 10 feet and touch his chicken pen. And he ain't told me none of his chickens died. And then, you know, people say, oh, well, it only is in factories where they have thousands of chickens.
Chicken.
Well,
Well, that's what they said. They said Biden and them were having chickens killed. You know, they were just killing all the chickens. That's what rising the prices of eggs and things without no rhyme or reason why you're killing the chickens and not trying to figure out why the chickens are getting sick.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I figure out why they're getting sick, then we can stop them. We don't have to kill the chickens.
Yeah.
You know, they were just straight, let's just kill the chickens. And now you don't have many chickens. But man, think about how many chickens there are.
Yeah, that's true. And you know something, like you said, you're right. If you just go kill all the chickens and you don't know where the thing came from, how is that going to solve the problem? You know what I mean?
That's not.
And plus, if it can transmit through any kind of a bird, I imagine it can. I mean, or else it would just be called the chicken flu.
Right.
But it's the bird flu. So can a crow get it? So what are you gonna do? Kill all the crows? You know what I mean? It seems to me like, why don't you grow more chickens, hatch more chickens? That way, if chickens die from the bird flu, well, you got other chickens that's gonna live. You know what I mean? When people die from the flu, do you just go kill all the people? I don't see how that's really a solution. I don't know.
Well, that's what they tried with the C-19. You know, the C word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole big mess. So, you know, but I can tell you this. If anybody, the president, wants to give $60 billion to some other country to fight a war, if we're using paper money, that's easy to do. He can just hit a button or even just go on the computer and credit their account. Here you go, 60 billion, boom. But if we're using gold and the president wants to give 60 billion to another country to fight a war, he got to go dig it up. You go ahead. If you want to spend all your time and energy digging gold to give to them to fight a war, go ahead. But, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going to do it, you know? And that's the way they used to, before the income tax and all that, they used to sell war bonds. If the United States wanted to go to war, wanted to fight a war, they had to convince the people to buy war bonds. And the incentive was the war bond would mature. So and I'm pretty sure that's where they got the name 1040. You know how you file a 1040 or whatever at the end of the year? That's your 1040 tax return. The 1040 was a war bond. And then I believe it was $10 if you buy it. If when you bought it, it was $10. And when it matured in 10 years or however many years or 20 years, it would be worth $40 or something like that. So basically, you know, it was an investment. And then it didn't work because nobody said, nah, we don't want to help pay for the war. You know, we're not going to do that. And then the government couldn't collect money. And, you know, so then it just became mandatory. They made income tax mandatory for times of war. You've heard that before. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a whole different subject. But
What it says, the war bonds are a way to government to fund wars by borrowing from citizens.
Yeah.
You know, offering a safe investment by fostering their patriotism.
Right. That was the whole premise.
And they come with financial trade-offs, you know.
Yeah. That was the premise is, hey, aren't you a patriot? Don't you love your country? Well, then buy a war bond so that we can, you know, have the money to protect ourselves. That's another thing, man, we're going to talk about next time is how that fear element works. Because once you see it, once you understand it, it all starts to make perfect sense. As long as there's a problem, there needs to be a solution. You know what I mean? And fear is a big motivator for people. People do a lot of things. They act irrational out of fear, you know? So we get into that some other time if you want to, you know?
Sounds good.
So we ain't got no people on. Are we all alone in here or what?
We're all alone, you know.
Good.
We're all alone tonight.
Yeah, it's late though.
So before you know it, somebody will be on. You know. But no, we can go ahead and wrap up for tonight, you know.
All right.
You give a great explanation on everything. And like I say, the more we do, the more people we'll get.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep going steady, like you said.
That's all we have to do, you know.
I mean, yeah, we can do every night if you want. I don't care, man. We can just
I'm here every night.
get together.
30 minutes a night, hour a night.
Yeah.
You know, different topics. And just letting people know, you know.
Yep. Just let me know what time and pick a time that's good for you and we'll sit down and do it. I get off about 4:30 and I don't know. I get home like maybe 4:45 or so, but it's up to you, man. We can do it that early if you want, or
figure it out. Just whatever works for us. You know, you call me, let me know that you're ready to go, and we can set up. Now we got everything set up, ready to go.
Yeah, yeah. Save those settings.
Yeah, I mean, they're there now.
Okay, good.
After we got them, it didn't take no time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream real fast. Don't go away.
Hey, and send me a link so I can share it with people I know, man. And
no problem. The link is, let's see, it's the same link I sent in the private chat.
Hey, and I can send you the links for those videos.
Yeah, so we can put them in the description.
Yes.